Welcome to the replay. If you are a little bit disappointed in yourself because you wanted to write more and you didn't, I have a fantastic way for you to set yourself up for success next week. So stick around. If you're on the replay, tap those hearts. They mean just as much later on. And I always go back and check and see who's on my replays. So thank you for being there. And as we kind of get rolling, also if you have not started following me and you want to know when I'm going live, just hit the Perry dude down there, change the plus to a check, and it'll let you know when I'm on live. It'll make it even easier to catch those replays. If you are watching online, come join the party. Get the app. Follow me. Hop in the room. Everybody else is hopping in. I see some folks coming in. Don't watch from online. Join the party. Hey, Darnell. Thanks for the hearts, guys. Who else is in the room? I've seen you guys kind of jumping in. Who else is here today? Hey, hey. I see Max. How do you say your name? It looks like Max to me, but I don't think your name's actually Max. I want to know your real name so that I can say hi and give you a shout out when you come join the Scopes. What are you guys writing? I'd love to know what y'all are writing. Books, blogs, theses. Oh, I've been proactive in my writing. More in your PhD writing. Well, that's okay. You got to finish the PhD, right? Right? Scott? Hope you don't mind. I just sneaked a peek. I'm doing good. It's Friday. I have to admit, this has not been my most productive day. Hello from Azerbaijan. Nice. I had to go to the DMV this morning, which is where you get like your driver's license renewed. It's never a fun thing that you have to do. So I did a little bit of writing while I was there, but it's a very distracting environment, and I had my kids with me, so it was like, now it's nap time, and I'm like, usually on Fridays I only work a little bit. Most of my client stuff is handled when I have childcare Monday through Thursday, and then Friday is like my own stuff that I'm getting through, and so I'm doing a little bit of writing during nap time. But I had this, all week we've sort of been talking about productivity tips for writing. Yeah, I know, the DMV is so not fun. So if you have not caught those scopes and you want to be a more productive writer, you can catch my replays and transcripts over there. And that's where I run my business and my book, my blog out of, paperravenbooks.com/periscope. I also post notes for you there, so you can always catch the notes later. Hey, Miguel. Scott, a 7,000 word lit review. I'm so sorry. That's really painful. Okay. So guys, who am I? I am Morgan Gist McDonald. I'm a writing coach, editor, and author, and I help people like you who want to write a book and aren't really sure where to start. And I help walk you through chapter by chapter from vague idea to first draft to finished manuscript, and it's a really fantastic process. And on these scopes, I give you all my best tips. We talk about productivity, motivation, writing tips, revising tips, marketing, like we throw all the writing stuff out there and we talk about it. So this week we've been talking about productivity and really narrowing in on like what your priorities are and focusing on one project at a time and things like that. And so today I want to kind of acknowledge the fact that a lot of times when we get to the end of the week, we're like, man, I really thought I was going to write more than I actually did. And so this is the perfect time to set yourself up for next week, right? So when people talk about having a productive day, you usually try to set yourself up the night before. This is the same idea. To set yourself up for a productive week, set yourself up at the end of the previous week. So there are 3 things I would like for you to do. Number 1, find a timer. I hope that your phone already has a timer, but make sure that it does. If not, buy a dedicated timer. Just like, I don't care what it is, kitchen timer, digital timer, whatever. You're going to put that timer on your desk where you write, okay? And then the second thing you're going to do is you're going to create a log. It's going to look kind of like this. It can be an actual spreadsheet, but you're going to record your writing time next week. I want you to write down the date and the day. I like to write down the day. Miguel says a 3-day weekend. Is it a 3-day weekend? What is Monday? Columbus Day or something? We should get lots of writing done. I didn't know there was a 3-day weekend. Oops. I wonder if my kid has school. Probably not. Thanks for letting me know. Periscope is useful. Okay. So, date. I like to write down the day because then that helps me see really quickly if I'm writing on the weekends or not. Write down the time. So if you start writing at 8 a.m. and you finish writing at 8:23 a.m., write down 8 a.m. to 8:23 a.m. I also like to write down the number of minutes, so that's 23 minutes, because I actually do mine in a spreadsheet, so then I run data on it later. But number of minutes, number of words. This helps you really see very quickly how many words per minute you're writing, or roughly how many words per hour you're writing. So keep a log, 7 days. I want to see it from October 10th to October 16th. I want you to aim for writing 3,000 words. Over the course of a week, 3,000 words. You can totally do it. That's about 3 or 4 hours of writing. Totally doable. So at the end down here, write down the total number of hours that you wrote. And at the very bottom, did you reach your goal? It's a yes or no answer. Goal reached? Question mark. Okay, so you can do this on a real piece of paper. You can do it on a Google Sheet, on a Microsoft spreadsheet, however you want to do it. Okay? And so I want you to aim for writing 3,000 words or 3 words, or 5,000 words. Writing fiction. Nope, I'm a non-fiction author, a non-fiction writing coach. I only work with non-fiction, and a lot of my clients are academics. Totally possible, Scott. You got a block. Academics usually have blocks because they think that most of their writing is so esoteric and requires a lot of research, and I can't possibly write more than like 25 words in an hour. It's called a block. Yep. You know it too. If you were able to release some of that pressure around sounding academic, when you're writing your first draft, you wouldn't edit as much. It's qualitative and quantitative research. I'm a sociologist. I got you, buddy. I know your language. I had a qualitative thesis and a quantitative thesis. I've done both. It is difficult, but when you're writing the first draft, if you release that pressure of sounding academic, it will go much faster. And then the revisions actually where you bring in that, the style. Okay? It is fun. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yes, so this process works for fiction, nonfiction, academic, whatever you are. When you're sitting down to write in these 25-minute chunks, you are most likely writing in a first draft, and so that's when you really need to be trying to write fast. And 3,000 words is not that much for a first draft. Scott says, yes, agreed, more along the lines of writing in the language of practitioners. Yes, but your first draft is just explaining what the heck your perspective is. Your first draft is explaining all of your variables and how they fit together and why they're important. And you can do that in a pretty normal tone of voice, and it will come out much faster. And then revision is when you go layer on the academic crap. The problem statement. Oh, you're getting hung up on like the purpose of this paper is, or the problem that I'm addressing is, then just kind of know what. You're going to have to explain for me, Scott. Oh, you got that. Good. Let me know if you have any other questions. But I do agree that most of the time when you're kind of sitting there staring at the blank screen and you're thinking just for like 45 minutes, like, I just need to think about this a little bit more, that's actually a self-sabotage mechanism, because you will think better as you're writing. If you will just turn off that sort of judgmental part of the brain for just a little while so that you can just write out what it is you're thinking. Once you see it written out, it's actually much easier to process and then go back and clarify after it's out on paper. So don't fall prey to that disguise that, like, I need to think about it more. Like, just write it, and then you'll figure out what you're thinking as you're writing it. It's a beautiful process. It's fantastic. And it goes a lot faster and a lot less painfully. Okay, guys. So that's your assignment. Lit review methodologies, data collection analysis. Oh, yes. I know the drill. I've edited over 1 million words, half of which were all about lit review analysis, what data conclusion, all in social sciences, psychology, business, education. Oh yeah, I've been there. But don't let those big scary words make it feel like an impossible task. It's not. They're just words. They're just concepts. They're just explanations. Write them out. I know the top tier journals. I know them. My people get published in the top tier journals. I'm not blowing smoke here. This is all practice stuff. Where's that timer? I'm telling you, next week, this will double your typical word count. I'm not even, I'm not exaggerating. Use a timer, write in 25-minute bursts. Okay? So 25 minutes and then take a 5-minute break. 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break. It's based off the Pomodoro method. Do your chart. I don't care if it's analog or digital. At the end of the week, did you meet 3,000 words, yes or no? That's your assignment. Thank you, Scott. I hope you take this. I'm going to check in on you. I'm going to find you on Twitter. I'm going to check in on you and see how the week went. It will totally make your week much more productive. And if you don't hit the 3,000 words, you at least have some way to look back and say, okay, what happened? Okay, well, I didn't write Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. What happened Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday? And so then you can begin to analyze your own patterns and improve. You're on there, but not a lot. Okay, I'll find you some way because I think you would benefit. Alrighty, guys, thanks for hanging out on this Friday. Let's go get ourselves organized. Like Miguel said, it's a 3-day weekend. Let's go do some writing, okay? Thank y'all for hanging out. You can always catch replays, paperravenbooks.com/Periscope. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for hanging out, guys.